You pulled on me from A to Z like letters in the alphabet. Each flick and curve was sewn together so seamlessly, my memories of you have no end or beginning. They merge and emerge and submerge me in the warmth of your touch, the sound of your voice, those cute things you do when you don't have a choice, like roll your eyes to say no or bop just a little. And people say these kind of endearments can be oh so fickle, but I fell for you, hook, line and sinker. Who'd have known by the end of the week you'd have turned on your blinker and decided to do a 3-point turn in the middle of the road when it was crowded and awkward and I was too dumbfounded to unload the weight of my feelings to you at that moment in time. I suppose, like, how strange it was for us to have exchanged all that warmth and that glow, only for the radiator to jam and the temperature to drop way below freezing. Near Arctic, this wind, gusts of isolation too powerful to rescind back to peaceful times, even though you texted me to see if everything was all right. And I lied, and I told you there was no traffic in sight, but the engine was stalling and I spluttered to a standstill. I waited on the hard shoulder, getting colder and more ill as I thought of all the things I could have said in response to the way you made me feel, but then I'd just sound crazy and you'd be able to say you couldn't deal, so I swallowed all my words, washed it down with some gin. Except I lied about that too, because now they're stuck within my throat and it's just getting harder to breathe and settle down, and like a fatal case of indigestion, sometimes I can't stop myself from burping. And the smell that hangs around me only smells like pain and hurting. Everyone else hands me cough sweets in an attempt to get me over it. They say it couldn't have meant that much, it wasn't even like you were that fit, trouble is you were 6 foot tall and kind of perfect. And even though I wasn't ready for a relationship yet, I just knew that you'd be worth it, but worth has a funny metric when you're craving another being. You find yourself staring longer in the mirror but losing track of what you're seeing. No longer are you happy with the confidence you once found freeing. Instead you see a different person who somehow seems to not be enough. Her eyes look kind of tired and her face looks pretty rough, and as you stare at this girl you start to get obsessed with perfecting and correcting, so once you're done inspecting she'll be a little bit more worth it, but you know you're just neglecting that insecurity bubbling underneath that cool surface, and when it cracks you know raw emotion's gonna erupt like a furnace. So when I looked in my rearview mirror and saw your taillights far off into the distance, I tried to settle back into a life where I knew not of your existence. A task easier said than done, so I pretended to get immersed with my commitments, but this was a lie too, since I don't think I'll get over you. You're the kind of guy who made me want to perfect my P's and stretch my Q's. I'll pretend to be okay with it, there's not much else I can do. Seems like this language of lies. Yeah, you taught me that too. Thank you.